I've always loved to read. As time went on, I decided that I could not live without books. But when I talked about books, I didn't just mean bound volumes. I meant pamphlets like this one, Common Sense by Thomas Paine, or it's a summary view of the rights of British America. I wrote that one. Newspapers as well. In my day, these printed documents, be they books or just newspapers or humble pamphlets, these were the sources of how we shared our ideas, which brought us together to be able to act as one people. The key to our being able to come together and form the United States of America was our ability not only to express ourselves, but to understand what other people were saying, to share those ideas. And the press was at the very, very core of that ability that brought us together as one people to stand against the greatest military in the world and truly establish ourselves as free and independent. I always loved reading, in later years, classics as well as political treatises. When I was a boy, I liked reading different kinds of things. I liked reading Aesop's fables, for instance. There was one of Aesop's fables. Here's how the basic version of it goes. You see, there were a group of sheep that had shepherding dogs guarding them from the wolves. But the wolves didn't like those shepherding dogs. One would think they would not. So they tried to convince the sheep to get rid of the shepherding dogs. They said to the sheep, well, we could be friends. We could. But you always have these dogs getting in the way, stopping us from becoming friends. You should get rid of those dogs as a testimony to prove how good friends we are, that we trust each other. Then you'll see how good friends we can become. Oh, well, in the fable, I'm afraid to say the sheep were gullible, and they got rid of the shepherding dogs as proof of their friendship with the wolves. Now, that very night, the wolves had the greatest meal of their lives. I used that fable numerous times in my 40 years in politics, and in that metaphor, as I used it every single time, the wolves were the rulers, the sheep were the people, and the shepherding dogs was the free press. But it's not good enough that we have a free press. It's not good enough. People have to be able to read what's being written. They have to know enough to be able to check where the facts are, where the falsehoods are. This is why I fought my entire adult life to establish public education. We need people to be able to write and express themselves. We need people who are able to understand what's being written and separate truth from falsehood. And we need people who have the free time to put that thought and labor into learning. Where the press is free and every man is able to read, all is safe. I'll refer further back, around the time of Aesop, to the Roman government that we base so much of our ideas on. I said that the press were our censors, and this is a Roman term. Censors in the Roman Republic were people who were elected to public office specifically to watch over others who were in public office, to make sure the rulers abided by the rules they were established to enforce. You see, every government degenerates when trusted to the rulers of the people alone. The people themselves, therefore, are its only safe depositories. And to render even them safe, their minds must be improved to a certain degree.